Yes lads, welcome back to another episode of the Sorare Under-23 Road to Glory. Now if you are new to my channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so, and if you do enjoy the series, please do give the video a like. It does really mean a lot to me. And lads, I just want to let you know that I've just recently started a members section to my YouTube channel. It's £1 a week to join, and for that I will build your lineups every single game week. There's a private Discord where you can ask me any Sorare related questions. There's monthly gallery reviews and weekly scouting sessions. And to be brutally honest with you lads, it is really going to allow me to push this channel forward and continue doing what I love. Right lads, that is the intro out of the way. Let's get into things. So first things first, we are going to review last week's game week. Now, starting with 220, I'm a little bit annoyed lads. Obviously we do have a big DMP smack bang in the middle of this lineup in the form of Ivan Heel, which killed us to be honest, because 250 points from 4 players, 3 decisives in here by the way, which is mental. I really didn't expect that. Yuito Suzuki coming in clutch off the bench with an assist as our captain, which was massive. Larson got a goal, Balki got an assist in a 3-all draw. Flecken, unfortunately, so you would have seen, well, if you have seen last week's episode, I had Trafford in there who actually scored like 80 points. I saw someone in the comments say Flecken's the play this week, and I ended up trusting you. Obviously didn't, pay off, and that's fine. Sometimes I should just go with my gut, I think, but, other times it is beneficial for me to, to take in some of your comments, because most of the time they are really helpful. So this time it didn't pay off, and that's fine. But regardless, Ivan Heel didn't play, which is very annoying. Wasn't in the squad. I think he's 50% on play sharper this weekend, so we'll see how that sort of plays out this weekend. But yeah, very disappointing to just only score 250 with the DMP there. In under 23 limited, we said it would be tough, and look, no decisives, lads. We kind of foreseen this coming. I think, the fixtures weren't great for us. Obviously, Eccles away from home, losing to Ipswich. I think he got dragged at like 45 minutes in. Klein Hansel, really disappointing. Away from home, fair enough, but 4-0 defeat, which was, just horrendous. Druetch got a goal disallowed, I think, as our captain. Still really good AA from him, which is quite encouraging away to Walwick. And then, Madsen, decent AA in a 3-1 loss to Anderlecht. And then Campos luckily didn't concede 3. Good AA, but just no decisive this week, lads. And sometimes that happens. That's just how the fixtures fall, and you just got to live with it. And then Cap 240 limited. Again, I think we're quite unlucky here, honestly. 255 points. Campolat only conceding 2 at home to Galatasaray, which was quite unexpected, I thought. Clerk with a 75, by the way. No decisive. 41 AA in a 2-0 win away from home, which was massive. The thing that killed us here, lads, was Cham. He started on the bench. He only played 28 minutes. Monchu, I think, missed a penalty. Yeah, missed a penalty. I think that's 2 missed penalties in the last 2 games, I believe, which is not looking good for him, to be honest. Still a positive AA, but that's killed us. The fact that he missed that penalty basically means we don't hit the threshold. Koulibaly coming in with an assist away to Auxerre, which is massive. Helped us, along to get that 280, but obviously wasn't to be. Monchu and Cham, collectively, as a 2 really let us down here. And being only 25 points away makes it very annoying, because that would have been a nice threshold to roll over for this weekend and to kind of reinvest. And unfortunately, it was a pretty unsuccessful game week, I would say, in that sense. We didn't really hit the 220 score we wanted. We obviously didn't do anything in under 23. And Cap 240, where I did honestly expect to hit the threshold, we haven't. So honestly, really disappointing, but it is what it is. We have to move on to this upcoming weekend. But lads, first of all, we've made some changes to the gallery. So the first big change, lads, that's happened is we've sold our Josh Eccles. This will go down as the first card we've managed to sell for a profit. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. We bought him for £4.11 2 months ago. And 1 hour ago, we sold him for £8.33. I think it was like £7.70 something if we go over to the Google Sheets. £7.79 after the taxes, the 5% the Sorare take. And we've managed to bank a £3.68 profit, lads. As you can see, he's the first card we've sold for profit. And I'm buzzing with that. I really am. It's a first, and, it's allowed us to sort of bump up that balance, because at one point, I think, last week, we basically had like £1 in there, which obviously isn't ideal. We're now back up to a healthy £7.20. And as you can see down here, we have added 2 new cards to the gallery. So going back to the gallery here, we've added a Terence Boyd and a Rune Pauhus. I don't know how I'm going to pronounce his name, lads. Sorry, you know how bad I am with pronunciations. But we've brought him in for 220, as we have for Boyd as well. I think he got, a goal last weekend away from home. He's going for like, what do we pay for him? We paid £1.32 for him. He's, the new card's going for like £1.60 odd here. I know it sold for 89 pence here, which is a little bit cheap, judging off the most recent sales, but we're happy with him. He has a very low L15, which is really going to help us in 220 and 240. And the annoying thing this weekend, lads, is Khalifa Koulibaly played midweek and actually got an assist. Again, that's 2 and 2 for him. But yeah, he doesn't have a fixture. So I'm a forward short in that sense. I needed to bring in somebody else. Didn't have to be under 23, hence the Terence Boyd purchase, and his L15 is very, very low, which is going to help us in 220. Now, just to review what we've done so far in this Cap 220 limited competition. First score was really good, 327 points, really kicked us on. Our second score, obviously, that 250, is still above the 220. It's still decent, I think, but it's still very frustrating, nonetheless, with, a DMP in there. So we've got another couple of chances to hit a good score this weekend. If we were to hit like less than 220 here, I think I would have been less inclined to prioritize this competition this weekend. But we've hit 250 and obviously the 327. I think it's enough for me to still kick on with the competition and hopefully put up a good score this weekend. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to prioritize it. Hence the 2 purchases we've made for the gallery this weekend. Now, going over to Play Sharper, as we do every weekend, we are going to have a little look at just the starter predictions and the expected scores of some of our players this weekend. Most of our guys are at 90%, which is great. Some are even at 95 with Clerk. Madsen at 90s is a nice sight to see. They play Kortrijk away, which I think is a very, very good fixture. Klein Hansel has a tough fixture. St. Pauli, who are top of the league, won't be easy for him. We've got Monchu at home to our goalkeeper Campos this weekend, which is not ideal. So that's, a sort of a situation that I don't really like, having, one of my sort of better players in Monchu, even though he's killing me recently with the penalty misses, playing against one of my goalkeepers. And as we know, we only have 2 limited goalkeepers. So the 220 sort of strategy is to basically play a common keeper there, so we can play one of our under 23 or both of our under 23 keepers, one in under 23 and one in Cap 240. We've got Balki at 90%, Darlin the same. Ivan Heel, like we mentioned, is at 50%, which is okay. It's better than him DMPing like last weekend. Hopefully he plays. Cham's back at 90% after not starting this weekend. We've got Larson at 80%, Campbell at 80%, Druetch at 90. Terence Boyd is at 60, which is a little bit annoying. I'd like him to be a little bit higher personally, but I'm going to take the risk on him regardless. We've got Campos at 90. We don't have predictions yet for the UPenn Genk game, so hopefully Big Rune starts for us there. And then going over to our lineups. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different this weekend. I've already pre-planned my lineups. As you can see, they're all sort of set out here for us to look at. And, normally I build them on screen in that sense. Let me know in the comments what you prefer. Let me know if you think the whole lineup building process at this point, after you've watched me do it for so long, 17 episodes now, is it a bit sort of mundane? Like, do you want me to keep doing it? Let me know in the comment section. If you want me to continue doing that, I will, of course. But this time I've just done it prior to me recording the video. So hopefully, you like that as well. I'm just going to explain the lineups, one by one instead of actually building them. But like I said, let me know in the comment section what you prefer. But yeah, Cap 220 limited this weekend, lads. We are going with Mark Flecken again. They play Sheffield United away, which I don't mind at all. Darlin's at home. Monchu, Boyd and Big Rune are all at home. Albeit some tough fixtures in there. Antwerp at home isn't easy for Cercle Bruges, and Genk at home isn't easy for UPenn. There's no easy game for UPenn. I think Monchu's my big hitter here personally. At home to Amorebieta, who are struggling. Even though we have our Campos over here who plays for them. We've had to split them up this week. I don't want my midfielder, or I don't want any of my attacking players playing against my goalkeeper in that sense. And this week, unfortunately, under 23 limited. And unfortunately, this weekend, under 23 limited, it's not our priority right now. We don't really have the depth, especially in goalkeepers. Like, we're just not falling into good matchups. Again, both my goalkeepers are away this weekend, which is not ideal. I don't mind the Campolat fixture in that sense. It's not great. 16th versus 4th away from home. Sounds like a bit of a recipe for disaster, but, specifically the Campos one, Valladolid are really, really good right now, and I just don't fancy him specifically to really score that well. And then we've got Druetch away to, Twente. We've got Ivan Heel, who might not even play, away to Eibar, who is not a good fixture. And then we've got our second Darland, who I think will score decently well, as do I think, Balki will as well at home. And then 240 is 240 on the dot, which is great to see for my OCD. We've managed to max out the 240 points, that we are allowed to use. Larson away to Vallecano isn't terrible for him. Madsen away to Kortrijk is good, I think. The Cham fixture isn't great, but they're at home. I expect him to do okay. I do expect him to outscore his L15. Clerk's on fire. He's managed to hit the ground running in our gallery, and he has a nice home fixture. And then the Campolat fixture isn't great. I think it's better than Campos. I think he has less chance of conceding 3. It's probably not a massive difference in it, but I am just going to go with him, and he does have a lower L15, which allows me to play some of my, higher L15 guys here. And, you might be thinking, Harry, why did you sell the Eccles? He's one of your better players, and he is, to be fair. But this weekend, I honestly, when I was trying to make my lineups, I couldn't really fit him in anywhere. Like, he had a good home fixture this weekend, and I didn't really want to waste it. Like, he would have only been able to really fit. I think his L15 is like 62 right now, Eccles, and he would have been able to fit in under 23 limited, don't get me wrong. But like, I just felt like I wanted to just cash in on somebody. Like we said, he's our first player that we've managed to make a profit on. Now, I'm not looking to make tons of profit with this sort of series. I'm just trying to roll over my cards week on week and try and show you guys, how hard it is to, or how easy, hard, whatever, to play on, a £100 budget on this game. And as we've found, like, it's not easy to do. And going forward, where I can take a marginal profit, I'm going to do that. And, I've nearly made a 50% profit on that Eccles, which, at limited level is quite good, I think. Or at least I'm going to tell myself it's pretty good. So, we've got a balance for next weekend to really kick us on, again, because we might need to score, even higher again in 220, depending on what happens this weekend. Hopefully, we can put up a good score. We've got a 69, lineup score strength indicator, which is decent. 68 for cap 240, and then 61 in under 23 limited. Like we said, I don't really fancy that under 23 limited lineup, and that's fine. If we can put up a good 220 score this weekend, if we can hit the threshold in 240, genuinely, I would take that all day long. That would give us over £10 in our budget to play with, which could bring us in a decent card for next week, hopefully, if we need it, depending on how L15s fall, etc, etc. I'm not really forcing the under 23 situation as far as, like, I need to win an under 23 card. I'm quite happy, like I said, churning over a decent score in 220, and hopefully hitting the threshold in 240. Right, lads, I hope you did enjoy that under 23 Road to Glory episode. I am wishing you all the best of luck for this upcoming weekend on Sorare for your lineups. Let me know in the comment section about the lineup building process. Do you think it's something you want to see, in the series, or are you happy for me to just talk through my lineups after I've already built them in that sense, prior to me clicking record on the video? So let me know in the comment section what you prefer. Massive good luck for this game week, lads, and I shall see you guys in the next episode.